Hello, this is Dandy Reiner at Hatchfinder's Fly Shop in Livingston, Montana. Today I'm working on Adam's Wulffs. That's what this guy is in my vise. We have a moose body for the tail, a dubbed body. The hackle is brown and grizzly hackle, and kiptail for the wing. This is a pattern that works really great when the drakes are hatching out here in the west. I'll show you how to tie this guy up. Any standard dry fly hook will work. This is a size 10 here. I tie them in 10, 12s, 14s, and 16s. I'll make a thread base. I'm using an Ultra Thread 140 in Blue Dun. If you're tying a 14 or 16, I recommend using an Ultra Thread 70, a little bit thinner of a thread. So the thread base is to the hook point, and the first step is the wing, and that's kiptail here. You're going to take a good section of that, maybe about half a pencil width. If you have kiptail that's straight enough, you can stack it in a hair stacker. You'll want to flick out any under hair and even out the tips. You can, if you can't stack it, you can always hold it in one hand and with your fingers just kind of pull out the long strands, and you'll have a nice blunt piece of kiptail. We're going to tie that in about a 1/4 inch behind the eye. I'll lay my kiptail on top of the hook shank and put it in the position where I need it. That one slipped a little bit. I'm going to do it again. Right on top of the hook shank, 1/4 inch behind the eye, and then a couple wraps back, and with my scissors I'm going to go on top and snip away this excess at an angle here, just like so, and then I'll wrap this remaining ends and pieces with my thread. Tie that in nice and strong. I like to go under my wing for several wraps to get it to stand up straighter. And I'm going to go back down to the hook point and add in my tail. I'm going to stack my moose body hair. And you want your tail as long as the hook shank. Just a few wraps, and then snip off the excess. And with your thread, you want to shape your body. So you want it slightly tapered with a nice sized thorax. My dubbing it's a silver dun color. Light gray will work. And I start my dubbing right in front of the tail. Add on a small piece of dubbing, and I'll start my wraps, one right in front of the other, trying to keep it nice and even. No lumps or bumps. Pull your thread tight. Add on a little more. And you just work your way forward to behind the wing. doesn't take much. And at this point, I'm going to split my wing in half to create that Wulff style. So I just split it evenly on each side, and I figure eight it, and then you can parachute each side of the wing. That gives it more definition, it separates it a little bit better. Come in with your thread in front of the wing, add a few more wraps because you want it to stand up nice and straight. Looks good. The next step is my hackle, and this has two strands. A strand of brown hackle. There's the brown hackle. And a strand of grizzly. There's my grizzly. Now I tie these in one at a time. A lot of people tie them in at the same time together, and that's fine too, whatever works for you. You want to tie it in dry fly style, which means the shiny side is facing the tail and the dull side is facing forward. Tie it in right behind the wing. Just a couple wraps with each strand of hackle, just a couple wraps. If you're tying it in separately, you've got to be a little careful not to have too much thread buildup. Tie that in good and sturdy. Leave your thread behind the eye. And then you're just going to go ahead and wrap it forward and around. Two, three times behind the wing, and 2 or 3 times in front of the wing. Depends on how heavy you like your hackle. I'll go ahead and tie that off. Cut my tag ends off, and I'll push it all back and expose the eye and make a nice clean head. Easy. I'll go ahead and whip finish it off. Snip my thread off, and then I'll snip away a couple wild hairs here. It takes some practice, but it's really not that difficult. Not too bad. A little drop of head cement, and there it is. Adam's Wulff.